Hey, what's up? My name is Tyson Brown and I want to welcome you to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. This is Australia's top health and fitness podcast to help you lose weight, look good with your shirt off, feel confident in your body, and finally achieve the goals you want with your health and fitness. So 5 days a week, I'm going to be giving you top information from myself and also from leading experts in the field so you know everything you need to do to get in the best shape of your life. From nutrition to mindset to workout, everything is covered in this podcast and you need to go nowhere else. So like I said, it's going to be 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, in your ears with quick actionable segments that you can implement straight away, because the most important thing is that you can put these things into play. Also, if you listen all the way to the end of the episode, you're going to get 2 special gifts that you can download upon listening to it. So make sure you listen all the way to the end to get those free gifts, okay? So let's get into the episode. Good morning, how are you doing? It is Tuesday morning. I am sitting looking out at the sun. It is fucking beautiful outside. And I was like, it's the perfect time for a podcast. I finished training my clients this morning. I finished training myself. And I'm like, you know what? It's a good time. So I thought I'd jump on. And I thought today would be a really good topic for me to talk about. Me not being the quote unquote typical trainer. So last week, I went out with one of my online clients, Dave. Dave, hope you're listening. I know you're listening, so shout out to you. He actually came to Sydney. And he's like, hey, let's catch up. You know, I'm in Sydney. I'm like, fuck yeah, I would love to catch up. And it's actually so funny when you catch up with someone who I've been training for over a year online, but we've never actually met in person. We always talk, we always chat, we always have a laugh, but it's like I met him and I'm like, haha, I've met you, but I haven't actually met you. And it's just a very interesting experience. So I met up with Dave and his son, and we were having a couple of drinks, and good old whiskey, obviously, for me. He was having a red wine. And what happened is I went to the bathroom and I came back, and they were laughing. And I was like, oh, what are you guys laughing about? And Dave's son said, you know, you're not the typical trainer who you would expect. You're not ripped, you're not huge and muscular, you're not jacked. And we all laughed about it, and it's funny because that thing actually used to really eat away at me, and now I don't give a shit about it. And when we all laughed, it was funny because Dave says, yeah, and that's why I actually enjoy having you as a coach, and it's because you're not my average trainer. You're not huge, you're not jacked, you go through the same struggles as me. He's watched me with my weight fluctuations when I've had depression and how it's gone up through the roof and then it's gone back down. He watches me with my food struggles. He watches me with my motivation to go to the gym. Like, I experience the exact same thing my clients experience, and that's why I'm such a fucking good trainer. Maybe sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but in all honesty, I'm a good fucking trainer. It's because I face the struggles that average people face. I am an average person. I have average genetics, I have food struggles, I have weight issues, I struggle with all the stuff that other people struggle with, and it's because I'm not genetically blessed. And I never used to think like this. I used to become obsessed and hate and beat myself up because I would look at people online and they were jacked and ripped. I would be like, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing wrong that they're doing right? Why can I not look like them? Why do I not have that physique? And you know what? Honestly, it comes down to genetics for a certain part, but it also comes down to dedication. I never want to be able to get on stage and be a bodybuilder. I will never have the physique for it. I never have the dedication for that or the discipline to get that strict with my food. And I'm just happy living a more flexible life. And it took me a long time to come to grips with that because I was like, I'd had that, imposter syndrome. Like, should I actually be a trainer? Am I really doing this for the right thing? Like, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about if I can't get results. But it was funny because at the same time, I was questioning myself because I didn't look amazing. My clients were getting fantastic results and they were losing weight and they were feeling good with their shirt off. And I don't know why the subtle shift changes, but I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck how I look. I want to show people that I'm a personal trainer and I can help them better than a majority of the trainers out there because I go through the same struggles that other people do. I have weight issues. I've gone up with my weight. I've gone down with my weight. I've had dieting issues. I've had issues with motivation. I've had depression. I've had all these things, and that's what makes me relatable. That's what makes me easier to relate to as a person, because you're like, oh, hang on, this guy isn't quote unquote immortal. This guy isn't hashtag fitspo every single day. This guy still likes to go out and drink alcohol. This guy likes to go out and have a bite to eat. This guy sometimes slips up on his diet and isn't perfect all the time. And when I show those flaws and when I show you the truth, it's more relatable because I know what you're going through. And that's why it's much easier for me to get client results, because I know the struggles they go through. When they say something to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I've experienced that before. I know how to help you out with that. Oh, Tyson, I fell off the bandwagon, and I'm just like, I've done that so many times. Let's get you over it. Let's get you back on track. And because I've made these mistakes and because I know how to overcome them, I can help coach my clients through them and not have them feel bad. Not be like, oh, you just didn't want it fucking bad enough. You don't want these fucking abs bad enough. Like, no. Some days you're going to wake up looking puffy and you're going to wonder what's going on, or the scale's going to change, or all these other things. And all of those issues I've struggled with myself. And that's what makes me a better trainer compared to the other genetic freaks. Because the other people who are really, really, have really good genetics, they look amazing. But here's the thing. They don't know how hard things are. Because they don't struggle with the things that you and I struggle with. They don't struggle with weight issues. Because they can somehow just flick a magic switch where I'm not going to eat this. Or I'm going to make a couple of changes here and there. They don't have that struggles of dieting. They probably don't socialize as much as you and I. They don't like to go out as much. They like to stay home on the weekends and be dedicated and hashtag fitspo and wake up early and go for their fucking runs and train till they're gonna puke, and they have more hours in the gym and things like that. And it's like, you know what? That's very hard to relate to. That's very hard for you. As good as they look, as much as I would love to look like them, as much as you would love to look like them, you forget that if they have more time than you, they have better genetics than you, they have all these other issues that are coming into the mix. And that's why you can train as hard as these people, you can diet as hard as these people, and you're never going to look like them. And it comes down to genetics. And once you learn that, once you understand that, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, that actually does play a part. And also drugs. A majority of these people are taking drugs, which makes it a lot easier. And when you step back and you go, okay, I'm watching this person because they're having a good physique, because they have a good physique, and it seems like they know what they're talking about, but they actually have no fucking idea how it relates to you, because they can eat off a meal plan every single day and eat the same things, but you can't. Or they don't binge and you sometimes do. Or they don't have weight struggles and you do. Or they don't go out on the weekend and you do. When you take a step back and you think about that and you're like, is this person actually, have they been through the same struggles I have? Have they done the same things I have? That's when you can start to think about it more. Like, okay, maybe there's someone else I need to follow. Maybe there's someone else who has a better insight, or who I can relate to better. Because when you can find someone who you can relate to better and has gone through the same struggles with you, or is on the same type of path as you, then it's much easier for them to be a coach to you, because they can see what struggles you're facing, where you've been before, and how they can help you. Because the biggest thing is that people don't, if they haven't been through that before, it's very hard for them to see where you're coming from and to relate to you on that level. That means they can give you bad advice or wrong advice because they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They're like, oh, you should do this, or you should follow this meal plan. It's like, okay, just because you can follow a meal plan doesn't mean anybody else can. You have to follow the exact same thing they did, because you're different. It's going to be harder for you. You've got other things coming up. You work a full-time job. There are other things that you've got to focus on. You might have kids, you might not have kids, and you've got to take all that into account too. So I just want you to think about that when you're watching these people online. Yes, they may look amazing, but is what they're teaching, is it relatable to you? Are they a single fucking 20-year-old who just trains all day and that's pretty much all they do and they can sit at home? Or are they someone who's had kids, if you've had kids, and they've gone through the struggles of dieting when they've had kids? Or are they someone who likes to go out and socialise? Or are they someone who has worked a full-time job, over 40 hours, they've been hitting it hard and they can still able to lose weight? You've got to look for the people you can relate to. Because when you can find someone you can relate to and you can see where they've come from, see their journey, it's gonna make them coaching you a lot easier, and it's gonna feel like you can actually talk to someone who's on your level. Because there's nothing harder trying to talk to, you see the fitness people that, on Instagram and stuff like that. Let's talk about, let's say Kino Body, right? He's ripped, he's lean, he's also single, he also has a lot of money to spend on getting his food sorted for him and things like that. And if you don't have that, how do you think they're going to be able to relate to you when you join up and they just send you a fucking meal plan and they're like, you got to get this, and you're like, wow, this is going to cost me over $200 for groceries. I don't have that type of income, plus the coaching. So that's what I would just say. If you're You know, as much as these people are good to look at and you think they're talking the right, like they're speaking the truth, might be, might not be, but you've also just got to think about, like, do these people have the same experience that you're going through? Have they gone from really overweight and lost a lot of weight? Or have they gone from, you know, if you're someone who wants to gain a lot of muscle, have they gone from really skinny to gain a lot of muscle? Have they done it in a certain circumstance that you're facing at the moment? Because all these things come into context. And when you know that, when you can find someone who's been where you are or where you want to be, and they've gone through the same struggles, then it's much easier for them to be able to help you out and give you the right advice. Because there's a lot of trainers out there and there's a lot of people you can follow. You've just got to find someone who's going to be on the same level as you. So I hope that was helpful. That's why I'll just give you a little bit of insight about what I've been thinking about. If you've got any questions about that, about coaching, or, like, you know, how to find the right type of person, you can send me a DM on Instagram at Tyson the Trainer with 2 R's. And then don't forget, you can download my free workout program from tysonbrown.com.au/bundle, which is BUNDL, and you can get a free workout program. All right, until next time, I'll speak to you then.
Appreciate it. So now you've listened all the way to the end. That means you get some free goodies. So what you can do is you've got 2 different options, or you can take them both. I've got an intermittent fasting cheat sheet and a high protein 20 recipe meal guide designed specifically for you in your situation. These meal plans and this intermittent fasting guide is designed to help you burn stubborn belly fat and get in the best shape of your life. So all you have to do is go to the show notes, click on the download link, and they'll get sent straight to your email address. It's as simple as that. They're completely free. They're going to help you transform your body. So go to the show notes now and download your free guides, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.